Good morning and good evening, everybody. I am so happy to welcome you to our team call this week. And as you can see, I am covering for the lovely Victoria. Well, I'm actually not covering, I'm in her box, which is quite fantastic. Quite excited to be in the Victoria box. But I am Zosha, and I have been running the calls we're March, aren't we? All March. And this week is my last week of covering the calls and taking the calls and taking you through a little journey, an oil journey. So I'm so glad if you could be with us today. Wonderful. And if you're listening to this recording, welcome, welcome. If you're here for the first time as a newbie oil, then these calls are really about creating a community and about us getting together and talking about the things that we love, particularly in this oil and this amazing doTERRA world. And so that's what's so wonderful is once a week we come together, we share a little bit about products, we share a little bit about ourselves, and we give each other a bit of love. So how fantastic. I'm happy to do this today. So to start off with, I want to do a little bit of a share, this amazing product that I've been using. And it really, like a lot of the products that I use in doTERRA, I get often the BOGO box, or I might get, my mum has got a fabulous account in Australia and she gets all these amazing products. And then occasionally she sends me a little goodie box with some of the things that she doesn't use or that she didn't want. And so this is what I received from my mum, which is this touch roller bottle of an oil called Davana. And Davana is basically this beautiful flower that's grown in India. And it's really a very sort of interesting smell. It sort of smells sweet plus a little bit of woodiness. I'm sure some of you have used it before. And I'd be interested to see how other people use it. But initially when I first got it, I thought, oh, it's a bit like a perfume. But actually, the more I smelt it, I thought, actually, it smells a bit like honey and it smells sweet. And I thought, well, if it's a bit like honey, I wonder if it would be like Manuka honey, which we use in Australia a lot for a lot of skin problems. And so I ran out of frankincense. So at nighttime, I thought, instead of using frankincense, I'm going to use the Davana because it's there. And otherwise I won't use it and it'll just be a waste of the bottle. So I started using this for my dry skin. And through, Hong Kong, I'm speaking to you from Hong Kong. And normally Hong Kong is extremely hot and humid and very, very moist. But we do get winter. And I know you're all laughing, thinking, oh, it's the tropics, it couldn't be cold. But it does get cold here. We do pull out our jackets and the skin becomes, after having beautiful, moist skin most of the year, our skin becomes super, super dry, crazy dry. So this has been incredible for the dry skin. And it's fractionated, it's blended with fractionated coconut oil. So what I've been using that is at nighttime, I've been rubbing that basically under my eyes, around my eyes, on my forehead, all the dry patches. And then I have to confess a little secret that I have been using, and I know for some of you skin face people, you might be sort of thinking I'm absolutely crazy, but I've been using a bit of the body butter on my face. It's got no scent in it and it's super thick. And I've been using that on my neck and on my chest as well, my décollage, as you would say. And my mum taught me always, you must moisturize your neck. One day it could be your face. So this has been amazing. I've been using this, and I know it's body butter, a little bit of this with this Davana. And I've got to say, in the morning when I wake up, my face looks juicy. Yeah, it looks plump. I feel plump. I haven't got the dryness and I don't feel my age, which I will not reveal. So this is my little tip for you lovely people here. Spread it on, get it happening. This is the business. So that's my little share for today. Of course, I could share 1,000 oils, but I wanted to tell you all about something that had just happened last week. Some of you already know, some of you that might be new to the oils or have been invited to come to this call may not really know much about it, but we have, of course, you can be an incredible product user and a sharer here in doTERRA, but you can also build your own business. And what we've just had last week is in Phoenix in the US, we've had what we call the leadership retreat, where all the people who are building their businesses come together and they learn from some amazing inspirational people in doTERRA. And so we've been lucky enough to be able to, virtually do a lot of this for some of us that are not in the US, but some of our wonderful builders have been attending that incredible leadership retreat. And other than all the inspiration that everybody received, and I'm sure if you were listening to it via, online, you felt that incredible power of doTERRA, and just listening to the company and listening to their message of healing has been sort of very much touching my heart. And so we'll put aside the emotion, because I'll come back to that emotional side in a moment. But what we wanted to share today is doTERRA revealed a couple of new products that are going to be launched. Maybe they're going to tell us about it maybe in May, and then launched maybe in June. But I've got the wonderful Valerie, who is going to give us a little bit more info about some of these incredible products. How fantastic. Valerie, do you want to come on? I'm going to just share my screen. Unfortunately, I've got that little sort of curling, a little sort of curling circular colored wheel that's not, oh, there we go, we're good. Now I can show you. Okay, let me go. We're good. It's having a little bit of a moment. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you might want to tell us about, which are really, really exciting. And one of the things that we've got is a couple of new touch products.
Yep. So starting April 1st, you will be able to get Vetiver Touch, and you'll be able to get Myrrh Touch. I have the information on it. Let me just tell you about it, because I can't see it there.
Yeah, it's so tiny.
Very tiny. So Vetiver Touch is going to be available April 1st. Wholesale is $37, retail is $49.33. That's USD. And the Myrrh is $40 USD wholesale and $53 retail. And they will be available, as I said, April the 1st. So Myrrh is a great oil for skin and for cleansing. It's very antiseptic. It can actually stop bleeding if you have a cut. It's also good for mindfulness and reflection if you're using it for meditation. And then the Vetiver is it's a brain health kind of oil. It works on anything with from anxiety to people use it for ADHD, for autism, and it also can heal wounds and cuts, and it is a base note in a lot of the fragrances that are out there today. So, and that is Vetiver, and they will be available in the 15 ml rollers. So they are into the new Touch family. So that's pretty exciting.
It's so exciting. And I just want to add that the Vetiver is, I've helped a lot of, I've consulted with a lot of kids who've got lots of different things happening, particularly on the spectrum. And the Vetiver is incredible. They call it like a warm blanket, right? And it's very, very thick. So often when you purchase the bottle, and you use the oil maybe in your diffuser, it's very, very viscous. And so the great thing I think about the fact that we've got a touch coming is that you've now got it diluted in some fractionated coconut oil. So it'll be much easier to apply. Vetiver is also incredible for sleep. So it has been, I've been struggling for the last couple of months with sleep, and literally, I think everybody loves it. The dog's passed out, the cat's passed out, everyone except me. But the Vetiver is amazing, right? So the fact that we've got these now as a little, or that we'll have these, is very, very exciting.
Very exciting.
Okay, and then we have also, I'm just going to just stop for a second and then come out of this. We have been waiting for this for a long, long time. We keep talking about every time there's a convention. Sorry, for some reason my screen is not wanting to share. Let's see if I can just pop out of here. You know, we've been talking about hoping that we've got some sort of sun care. Yeah, because if you look at the sunscreens that are available, sorry guys, we can't, for some reason, my computer is very slow today. I've got 4 people homeschooling, 3 kids homeschooling, and people on calls. So our internet is very, very slow. My apology. So we've been talking a lot about sunscreen and hoping that we can actually, or that doTERRA comes out with sunscreen. But sunscreen is very tricky to, you know, to produce without having nasties. And you know, before Valerie shares some information about sunscreen, I went to a seminar probably about 4 years ago with a doctor who was talking about sunscreen and saying that basically if you choose sunscreen, because often we think the higher the factor, the better, right? So we buy factor 70, we buy factor 100, thinking that we're doing the right thing. But actually what happens is past 30, you're going to find that a lot of sunscreens have this chemical compound in them that mimics estrogen. So if you think about small children and how often you put sunscreen on small children, you lather them up, and years and years and years of that, and then we wonder why we have early puberty, why girls have early menstrual cycles, breast cancer. All of these things are really, really important. So the fact that doTERRA is now coming out with a sunscreen, I'm interested. Valerie, I'll let you talk about it.
Okay, before I go into doTERRA Sun, which I think is an amazing product, I want to explain the different types of sunscreens that are in the market. When my son was about 5 or 6, we would go to an island, I would put sunscreen on him, and immediately it looked like he had a 3rd-degree burn. His body was swollen and red, and I was like, damn, what's going on here? I thought he was allergic to the sun. So I bought him a sun shirt. It still happened. So he's 25, so this is going back like 20 years. So I did a deep dive into what's going on here. And what I found is, and it still holds true today, there are 2 types of methods of sunscreen. You have absorption, which it gets absorbed into the skin, and then you have barrier. And the barrier basically sits on the skin and it doesn't penetrate the skin, which is what we want. We do not want the sunscreen to be absorbed into our skin. And once I found one for him that did not get absorbed into his body, no more looking like he had a burn. So I gave him Benadryl at the time and it took it down, but then he was like conked out for the day, so it really, poor kid couldn't enjoy the beach. So this doTERRA Sun is mineral based, which is really great because it is going to form a barrier on your skin so that it doesn't get absorbed into the bloodstream, and it doesn't have the nasty. So there are 4 products. There's face and body. The second one is the face and body stick. That's the only one that was available during leadership last week. They had one stick for the entire conference. So and I felt it, and it felt really great going on the skin. Then there's the body, which is a spray, and then the after sun. Now with the after sun, you can use when you're not after the sun. You can use it every single day. These products should be used every day because they actually also can deflect the blue light from fluorescent lights, from computers. So it's protective of that because these blue lights are can be harmful to our skin as well. And another key factor is that they are also FDA approved, because they're considered OTC and they had to be registered. So if you look here, this is the face and body. The ingredients are zinc, when zinc is one of the ingredients that does not get absorbed into the body. It sits on the skin. The other one, which I don't know if it's in here or not, is titanium dioxide. Those sit on the skin. So this also has avocado oil, turmeric, jojoba, vitamin E. What it also has is helichrysum, frankincense, and carrot seed, really great healing oils. It is an SPF 30. It's very lightweight. No, I did not test this one. It wasn't there. It was water resistant. It's vegan friendly, reef safe, and cruelty free, which is really great. It looks like a really good eco-friendly product that is going to protect us from the sun without giving us, as you said, Sasha, all the nasties in the ingredients. There are a lot of ingredients that we do not want. If you're interested in that, in the Environmental Working Group, ewg.org, they have a whole sunscreen section where every year they rate it. I checked today, this is not there as of the moment, but they tell you what ingredients that are bad, and it will tell you why. So you can put any sunscreen you have, and it will tell you, break it down by ingredient. It rates it overall, but there are some ingredients, even if something has a good rating, could have some bad ingredients in it too. So it's always good to always check the Environmental Working Group for that. So that's for the sun. That's the sunscreen spray here, and this has a lot of the same oils. Helichrysum, which is healing, frankincense, which is healing, carrot seed is great for the skin. Again, this is very much like what we just saw, except in a spray. Okay.
Which is, Valerie, if I can just bump in, it's fantastic. Sure. You've got small kids, right? Sometimes the spray is just easier.
Yes, however, you really, even if it's a healthy, or like this is a good product, you do not want to you want to avoid them breathing it in. Because again, you have to be careful with sprays. So you don't want especially you just like cover their face or something. You don't want them to breathe it into their lungs, even though it has good ingredients. We just don't want to inhale that. So that's just my own 2 cents on that one.
That's good. Thank you.
And this is the stick. This is what I did test. It is very creamy going on and feels very luxurious. And it sat right on the skin, and it didn't have, and it just sat, it was great. I was very pleased with the way it felt, and again, it has the zinc in it, and the shea butter, cocoa butter, vitamin E, and it has the healing oils of helichrysum, frankincense, and carrot seed, and it is SPF 30 as well, and it is lightweight and vegan friendly and cruelty free and reef safe, which is important as well, and water resistant.
And Valerie, the fact that it's got shea butter, which I absolutely love. You know, as Aussies, we have been exposed to the sun from a very, very early age. And my parents we just used to put zinc on. And my parents used to literally, it was like this thick white that would just be across here, right across here, and then across your forehead. You look like you'd been sort of painted. But you would go in the ocean in and out, and you would never, you couldn't actually wipe it off. And what I find with a lot of the sunscreens is that the kids do this, right? They go in the water and then they just wipe the water off. So I think what's important is when it comes to sunscreen is that you do have to keep applying it back on, right? But these sort of sticks are brilliant because they're basically that zinc across here.
I've been using mineral-based sunscreens for years, and I do not reapply it often at all. And as a matter of fact, at the end of the day, to take a shower to get it off, I need a washcloth, like because you can't get it off. So yeah, so the zinc is a real. My parents put zinc on me as well too, and the other one that I said is titanium dioxide. And as a footnote on that, titanium dioxide is used as a whitener in food, which I can never understand. It's in frostings, it's in vitamins. And I'm like, why would I want to eat sunscreen? It just never made sense to me. So just.
I love that. Okay.
那还在做数学吗？
Oh, sorry, somebody might be up there.
So
hi everybody. If you can just let me see if I can just mute. I need to mute you. Okay, Valerie, carry on.
Okay, so this is the after sun, which you would apply after you come out of the sun, and the oils. I'm so happy that these particular oils are in it. I'll go back to the other ingredients because last summer my daughter had a severe sunburn, and these are the oils that I used on her. The copaiba, the lavender, peppermint, and helichrysum. I used those oils on her every single day, twice a day, and she did not blister or peel, and her burn was bad. So when I saw these oils, I was like very happy because that's the protocol I used when she had a very bad burn. So from experience, I know they're working. It also has aloe vera, which is very soothing. It's going to give our skin also has bacteria on it. We want good it has bacteria, so the probiotics and the prebiotics are also the good bacteria that's going to replenish our skin. And it has arnica, which is helps relieve pain. It's a homeopathic a homeopathic ingredient, and the vitamin E, which is very healing for the skin as well. And this is going to help your skin restore itself if it has been stripped or damaged from the sun, if you're in the sun during the day. And
what an interesting point, Valerie, about the pro and the prebiotics on the skin.
Yes.
I'm sure that's very new to me, understanding that sort of concept.
Well, honestly, if we're going to be really, if I'm going to be honest here, showering every day is not healthy. It might be hygienically better, but when you're showering every day, you're stripping the skin of beneficial bacteria. And that bacteria actually helps protect us against environmental threats or sickness or anything like that. So showering every day isn't the best thing to do. Yes, it's good for hygiene, but as far as you're stripping away all the beneficial bacteria.
You know, when I first met my husband, I used to make fun of him because he's British, and I used to say, "Oh, so do you shower?" Because I've heard that most British people don't. And he said, "You're terrible." He said, "It's cold." He said, he went to university in Liverpool, and he lived in a very, very small house as a student without much heating. And he said, "You didn't want to get out of bed." And then the concept of having a shower. So I laughed. It's still an ongoing joke. So he will love the fact I talk to him about the pre and probiotics, he'll say, see, that's why I'm so healthy.
Did we miss one?
Um,
No, we didn't. No, we're good. So this is going to be released June 1st. The marketing stuff and the art will be released on May the 23rd. And anyone who's at Leadership will get the training on May 16th. But look for a June 1st launch. And we're going to have marketing pieces in May. So that's really exciting. I'm very excited about this line because it's a good line and it's mineral based and has the oils that are really beneficial for the skin. So that's exciting news.
Valerie, it's so great. I mean, I just think, you know, when it's sort of, when you look at new products, this is the thing that we've been every convention, right? Everyone's always like, sunscreen, please. Because it is difficult. And, you know, you spoke about your son's rash. The same sort of thing. I don't want to sort of name any brands, but I had exactly the same thing on myself. You know, as you know, always need to put sunscreen on my arms, particularly when I ride my horse. And honestly, just the rash that comes out is just terrifying. And you really don't know. You don't know. And so that website, that app actually that you talked about, can you can we put that into the chat?
Sure.
So
it's actually, they also have, I have an app on my phone that I go into drugstores and I can actually scan products with the barcodes and it will tell you, it will rate it. It doesn't have as many products as if you go online, but it's called the environmentalworkinggroup.org.
Because I think this is fantastic for, you know, and particularly any sort of skincare. We talk a lot about essential oils, but we, you know, doTERRA's face, skin and body range is absolutely incredible. And you'll find, particularly if you've got sensitive skin, particularly for, you know, for younger kids like my teens and are using all the HD Clear. And so you can punch in any of our products and put them onto that website or that app, and they'll give you a full brief of what's in there. And I think if you really wanted to be toxic free, what you could do is, you know, look at every product you use. And I think that you might sort of get rid of some of the products. Jennifer, I can see your little hand.
Hi. Hi. I just wanted to do a quick share off of Valerie's awesome information. Thank you so much, Valerie. That was spectacular. Titanium dioxide. So I think all of you kind of know my daughter Sarah's health issues that she's been up against with her autoimmune disease. But early on, when she was probably 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, we were buying coconut milk. And all of a sudden she was losing a patch of hair. And so I kind of just went through all of the food that we were consuming. I had a huge garden. I didn't think we were eating poorly. And yet, so I started going to this boxed milk that I was buying. And there it was, titanium dioxide. And I thought to myself, what in God's name am I feeding my child? So I omitted that and the hair started to come back. So that was early on. And I guess the other share I wanted to say about these wonderful sunscreen products that we're going to be receiving from doTERRA is that they have a non-nano oxide in them, which is healthier and better for us. My daughter Sarah did a deep dive on this because she's been dealing with a lot of skin issues. And I wish she was here to share with all of you. But at any rate, I want everyone to know that that is going to be an awesome product ingredient as well. So thanks for letting me share.
Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing. I've literally got goose pimples when you tell me this story, because I just think, you know, I mean, something so dramatic for your daughter also to lose hair, how stressful and how, you know, devastating. Also, you know, what investigators we need to be when we think about anything that we use in our house. Something like coconut milk. I mean, I'm fascinated as to why. I mean, clearly the white color, right, to keep it white. But that's and then they actually stated that as an ingredient in the milk. Oh my.
Yes, yeah. And it was funny because when her hair started growing back, it was like this little curly Q at the top. And she went to school and we'd always kind of plaster it down with all the other hair, right? Well, she went out for recess and she said she came back in and to use the restroom and here her little curly Q had come out. She was horrified.
Bless her. I mean,
Oh,
honestly, that's
yeah.
so stressful, right? And I think, you know, I mean, I know my kids regularly will come out. Like my daughter, I bought just in one, we have this great store which is called Live Zero, where everything is in bulk and everything's organic and all sorts of things. But I bought a body wash from there. Just because I was waiting for my doTERRA to come in, and I thought that would be safe. It was organic. She came out in so many bumps from using that. It was crazy.
Ooh.
And so I said to her, I don't know what's in there. It was like 90, I think they said like 95% organic. So whatever the 5% was, and there was so many ingredients, I wouldn't know. But we stopped that, and the bumps disappeared. And then we've gone back to our doTERRA body wash. You know, you just think, oh my goodness.
I mean, as parents, we have to be detectives, and, you know, we're so many things, teachers of all sorts, you know, it's amazing, this parenting. Yeah.
That's another call, Jennifer.
Yeah.
In EWG.org, there's a section called Skin Deep, and Skin Deep has products from, you know, makeup to shampoos. It has a whole, like anything that goes on your skin, and it rates them. So if you put your product in, it will tell you, and it will spit out ingredients. It rates it by clean to like 10, which is red, which is don't like. It screams to me, don't use. So that's a really good part of their. They have a lot of other. They do water. They do household cleaning, but the Skin Deep one, and like also Dirty Dozen, you know, with fruits and vegetables, which has the most pesticides. But this is the area that you want to go to if you want to look at your personal care products, is called Skin Deep. I use it very often when I'm looking at things, so it's very valuable. And I can't stress enough, not just here, but in anything anybody's consuming on your skin or in your body, read ingredients, because there's a lot of ingredients that are called GRAS, generally recognized as safe, which aren't. And you know, this is our bodies. You know, we don't want to put bad stuff on it or in it. Like if you want to put it on your skin, you should be able to eat it. That's how clean the ingredients should be. So it's very, very important, because you can poison yourself with what you put on your skin, because it's our largest organ. So that's really important that everybody really pays attention to that, because you can really improve your health by just switching out some really bad stuff. So
exactly, so good. I'm just looking at the chat. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Valerie. So wonderful. Angela, I just see that you use myrrh every night for thyroid support, which is brilliant, just to calm the thyroid, I would imagine. And so, you know, these are so fantastic, these little sort of stories to hear, you know, what, and once those come out, let's do a little greater deep dive into something like myrrh, because I think myrrh to me is always, you know, in the frankincense category, right? And so it must be something amazing, must be something fantastic. So what a great share, everybody, this morning. And Valerie, thanks for bringing all your wonderful wisdom from the week that you just had. And I was just looking at I was also enjoying the leadership through on my virtual sort of channel. And the one thing that I haven't watched the whole week, but I've watched part of a couple of hours. And what I sort of felt that was coming out was this sort of very strong sense that doTERRA is really working towards spreading the word, or getting us to understand that we really are in the job of healing. And, you know, it's a big call when you say something like that, because, you know, I've never wanted to call myself a healer, because it feels very outside my box. It feels like, you know, to me, a healer is somebody that has got incredible powers and incredible ability, capacity to make people go from one stage to another. But when I was listening to Emily Wright talking about the healing aspect, and how healing comes in many different ways. So it's not that classic healing of I'm going to put my hands on you and heal you straight away. Healing comes through communication. Healing comes through community. Healing comes through knowing that I can call somebody, or even ask a message on our community chat and say, I'm struggling with this. Has anyone got any sort of, you know, remedy or some sort of advice that you can give me through this stage? And I think this is incredibly powerful, because Jennifer, as you were saying, as a parent, you know, we need a lot of help through these stages. Even, you know, if you're not a parent and you're dealing with things in your life, you know, we need a sense of community. And this is this incredible encompassing of what I think healing is. And I'm so proud when I was listening to Emily Wright and listening to what she was saying. And I felt it was more than just a company. It's not just essential oils. It's not just another company that pulls people together and does a convention or whatever. It is a company that really has got such direction in its message and its power. And you know, you look at the healing hands. I just saw the wonderful healing hands that Sylvia, I think she just did for the Ukraine. If you're new to the oils, we have this incredible arm where we can raise money and doTERRA matches it, and there's incredible support. You know, this is the incredible part of doTERRA. And so when we talk about healing, this is really how warming to know that this is part of us. Yeah, this is what we do. We do this every week. We do this every time we talk to somebody. This is incredible power for us. And I wanted to share with you this beautiful book that I'm reading at the moment. I'm absolutely obsessed with Brené Brown at the moment. And this beautiful book is called The Atlas of the Heart. And it's really been helping me. I've been having a very, very challenging time the last couple of months. And this book is really, it's called the Mapping Meaningful Connection and the Language of the Human Experience. And it's interesting, Brené Brown, when she was doing her studies, she was looking at, she was asking people, you know, when you talk about emotions, what emotions do you feel? People often say, I feel sad, I feel happy, or I feel angry. You know, they may not go further in that. And when we're dealing with a lot of clients or customers or people, and when we're working in this sort of healing aspect, we need to go further. We need to understand why people feel the way they feel. And I listened to Brené. This book is amazing. So if you have a chance to sort of look at it, please buy it. It's a beautiful book. But I listened to one of her podcasts last week, and it hit home in what we do in doTERRA. And Brené said, you know, often when we're looking in the world, we see a lot of extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. We see that people are running businesses, they are successful here. And sometimes for us, sitting in our homes, we think, wow, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I'm capable of that, because I'm not as extraordinary as these people that I read about on my social media or in the news. But actually, what Brené Brown says is that we are all ordinary, and we live in a very ordinary world, but we have the capacity to do extraordinary things. And I think this has really hit home for me, where, you know, it's not about you not being special enough. It's not about you not having all the things, you know, that these other people have. It's just you deciding that you want to do something extraordinary. And then the minute you decide, and the minute you make one step forward, that will happen. So to my wonderful people doing extraordinary things, I'm going to leave the call today. I'll finish our call today because I'm a little bit over time. Thank you, Valerie, for your wonderful share. Thank you, Jennifer, for your wonderful share. We're excited about these new products. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for March. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And we will see each other next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Tasha, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful talk.
Thank you so much.